Where is this freak storm coming from? You probably don't need a Kindle. Let me tell you why. Today I just kind of wanted to share with you guys my reasoning for why I am not buying a Kindle, and perhaps maybe why you guys shouldn't buy a Kindle as well. I believe our phones and our tablets are quite capable reading devices if you know how to set them up. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the reason behind this decision. I'll also be showing you ways you can optimize to the max so that you can get the best experience, maybe even better than a Kindle. And also a hidden gem that I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, but if you're a book lover or anybody who likes to read, this is going to be huge for you. So make sure you stick to the end and let's get right into this video. So why shouldn't you buy a Kindle? Now, before I go on and pretty much bash the Kindle for what it is, I want to at least tell you guys some of the pros and benefits you get from actually owning a Kindle. So one of the main benefits of having a Kindle is the fact that it's a single-use device. Its main purpose is just to read and maybe listen to an occasional audiobook. As it does have support for Audible, being a single purpose or single function device really allows you to be able to really get into something, right? There's no distractions like social media, YouTube, web browsing, email, or all of that. It just, you open it, you read. And that distraction-free feature of the Kindle is only complemented by the fact that it has an e-ink black and white screen, which is easier on the eyes and helps with battery life, right? This Kindle can last for weeks and months on end, depending on how intense you read, right? And for some people, that is a game changer, not having to worry about charging the device the night before and all of that. So my reason for not owning a Kindle basically boils down to the way that I go about my day, right? And the type of person I am. I'm a person who's constantly trying to be more minimalist in life, and so I don't really want too much things. And so when I'm out and about, I'm probably just gonna put on my watch and bring my phone. And so my phone has been my main Kindle, if you want to call it that, and it's been a great experience. I sometimes read on my tablet as well if I want a bigger screen and more enjoyable viewing experience, but for the most part I read on my phone just simply because I carry it everywhere, and especially when I'm outdoors and find some time in between classes or I'm waiting for food, I can pull out my phone, open the Kindle app, and just take a little brief reading, right? I can read for little sprints of time, and I find that's a great way for me to continue my reading habit without too much friction. And so there's so many pros with just going with your phone or tablet, right? First of all, if you already have a phone or tablet, you don't have to spend any more money. You already have the device, right? And the Kindle app is free on all app stores. The next pro of your phone and tablet is just the screen, right? It might not be, as healthy to stare at for long hours in a day, but it is much more pixel dense. It has color, and it's just more responsive to your touch, right? Especially when it comes to highlighting and taking notes within the Kindle app. I've seen the way they do it on those Kindles, and it's not responsive. It's kind of laggy, right? At least for highlighting, it seems all right. But when it comes to typing on the keyboard on an e-ink display, at least where the e-ink display technology is at right now, currently on the Kindles, it is not the best experience. And one of the main reasons why you should probably go with your phone or your tablet is that most likely it's going to be running iOS or Android, which means you not only have access to Amazon's catalog in the Kindle app and Audible and whatever, but you literally have access to every other source of books on the internet. You can pretty much find every book on the internet if you search smart enough. Alright, so how does one go about optimizing their phone or tablet for the best reading experience possible? As close to the experience of a physical Kindle as possible, or even best it, right? It's really just three things. 1, turn on Do Not Disturb. 2, airplane mode. And 3, grayscale. So Do Not Disturb is pretty much self-explanatory, right? You basically, it's a mode on your phone or tablet that basically shuts down all the notifications and basically gives you the maximum level of distraction-free experience possible. Sometimes it's called focus modes and other stuff like that. Once you activate it, you literally will not get notifications at all unless you set it specifically, you know, the certain people who can contact you and also certain apps that can pass through this filter of sorts. With airplane mode, you not only cut off your connection with the outside world in terms of notifications, but you also prolong battery life, as you know, it cuts all kind of wireless, cellular, you know, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. All of that is disabled during airplane mode, and that gives you much better battery life. Turning on airplane mode won't magically give you 1 week or a month of battery life, but it is good enough to get you, you know, at least a day more. And if you really want to go all out, you can activate stuff like grayscale to turn your entire screen gray, just like the Kindle. And you can even use features like night shift, which basically turns your screen from the blue light emitting, like, you know, screen that it is, and slowly shift it to orange as time passes, or, you know, on demand. And if your device supports automations, like for example in iOS's Shortcuts app, you can actually set automations that automatically trigger certain things when you do certain things. For example, I can set one where if I open my Kindle app or any reading app of my choice, it can automatically turn airplane mode on or like Do Not Disturb on. Now, there is no automation currently that will allow you to activate grayscale or night shift. So here's how you can do it on your iOS devices, making use of the power button actually. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is just open the settings app on your iPhone or your iPad, and you're gonna go down to where it says accessibility, right? Here, what you want to do is just go to where it says display and text size, right? And right here where it says color filters, you're gonna turn it on and select grayscale, right? That is just the first part of the equation. What I'm about to show you is something even cooler, right? So we're gonna turn off color filters for now. So we're gonna go back for now, and we're gonna go down, all the way down where it says accessibility shortcuts. Now here, you can basically configure your top button or the power button, right, to do stuff whenever you triple tap. And what's cool about it is you're able to choose not just color filters, but also smart invert. I'm gonna talk about that later, but just turn on all three. Turn on color filters, classic invert, and smart invert, right? And now, when it's time to read, just triple tap your power button, and then a menu will pop up, right? And because we selected color filters as grayscale before, now when we click color filters, it will select, you know, the last option that we chose, which is grayscale. So if we click on color filters now, as you can see, it just turned gray, and which is perfect for reading, which is awesome, right? Really just like a Kindle. But let's say you're reading a PDF, right, in an app. And the thing that makes PDFs not as flexible as EPUBs or like Kindle book files is the fact that, you know, when you turn on night mode, right? Let's say you're reading in the dark and, you know, you're trying to read this book, but this PDF, just this blazing white PDF will just, you know, shine you, overpower you with white light. And even if you dim the screen, it's just not dim enough. And so what do you do? Well, since we already set up our top button to do really cool things when we tap it 3 times, we'll just press it 3 times again, right? And we'll choose one of the invert options, right? Invert basically turns, whatever color you have on your screen to its inverse. So white will turn to black. So with this feature, you can actually turn any page that is white and force it into, black. And now when you're reading in the night, you basically have a, easier, more readable page. And now the difference between smart and classic invert is classic invert doesn't care about what's on your screen. It will just invert everything. But smart invert is a new way of invert where if you do have images, right, on your screen along with the text, it will allow you to keep the images normal, but everything else inverted, right? So the page will be inverted. So the reason why I have both smart invert and classic invert in the same menu is because sometimes smart invert doesn't really work as intended. It's really weird. And so having both of those options means I can quickly switch between them, depending on the situation. And now we have reached the part that you've all been waiting for. So what are these hidden gems that I was talking about earlier in the video that will truly elevate reading on your phone and your tablet? Well, I have one app for you. So the app that I'm talking about that you definitely want to get if you want to boost your reading is Voice Dream Reader on iOS or Legere Reader on Android. So Voice Dream Reader is what I'm using and it's $25 on the App Store. But you can get a similar app, which I think is from the same company, called Legere Reader on Android for $10. And I know we like free stuff. We don't want to pay for anything. But if you truly value, right, reading, this app, a one-time purchase at that, is one of the most important apps you can ever buy. And why am I advocating so much for it? This is not a sponsored video, but this app is just truly amazing because it allows you to put all your books in it, right? PDF format books. And it not only allows you to view and read the books, but it adds on top of it audio narration. It uses their own proprietary text-to-speech engine and voicing and allows it to read back to you any PDF book that you put into it. Anything. And that's game-changing. Now the voices aren't 100% perfect, right? It'll never beat an actual human being reading it. But it'll get you 80 to 90% there, and that's totally enough, to be honest. And with it, you'll be able to take your reading on the road, especially when you're not able to look at your screen. You can just play it and it just works really fine. Alright guys, that is the end of this video. I just want to thank you for sticking to the end. And yeah, if this video helped you, if you found it useful, make sure to give a like, subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And so thank you for watching. Hope this helped and be safe out there. Peace.